Welcome to Subramani. Uh, all of us have a basic nature with which we live, and that is what behavioral finance seem to be saying. We will always like to behave like how the crowd expects us to behave in most things. Even if it were to create a lot of pain, we don't mind it. We listen to our parents, we listen to society, we listen to experts coming on TV and creating video blogs, and that is because that is how human nature is. Now think of the zebra. It gets great protection when it is with a crowd of say 50,000 other zebras, right? What happens is the zebra which wants more juicy grass has to be outside the group, even if it is not alone. So it has to be on the periphery so that it can get the best grass. But if you are in the middle, you will get grass which is being trampled upon by 50,000, 20,000 other zebras, right? The advantage of being in the middle is you will never get attacked by a lion. There is no way how a lion will reach you. You have a natural shield of other zebras. But if you are at the edge, you will get the juiciest grass. But you might also get some claw marks of lions, or you could become victim to a lion, right? So it's always the advantage of being inside the crowd and being outside the crowd. But a zebra which is alone, which is not part of this crowd, has very little chance of survival. It will not know what to do, right? Now this is how we behave even when we are investing. When everybody is panicking, it is easy for people to say you should panic when everybody else is greedy, or you should be fearful when others are greedy. That is easy to say, almost impossible to achieve. If you buy a share at say 20 rupees and it has gone down to 5 rupees or 3 rupees, you have no clue what to do. Similarly, if you bought a share at 20 rupees and it goes to 25 rupees or 27 rupees, again you have no clue what to do. If you don't follow any rules of the game, or you say this is a trading call, so on a 20% jump within the next 3 months I will sell it off. If you do not have some rules clearly, either written down or in your head, preferably written down, and you know that this is a investment decision that you have taken, or this is a trading decision that you have taken, it is almost impossible for you to behave very rationally in this market, which is fluctuating quite a bit. Let us say you bought some shares at 25 rupees and that has gone up to 40 rupees. Is it good time to sell it? It's impossible to say from a remote location. At 40, things may have changed, right? Tata Power got out of the Sensex and the price actually fell from about 60 to 30. But at 30, technically it was a great call because everybody knew that it would enter some other index and therefore they would be buying, and it is now gone up from 30 to 80. Of course, a lot of other things have happened. The management has said they will change the debt equity structure and etc. etc. But largely, if you are bought at 30, would you be still holding? Would you be still selling? It well depends on how the crowd around you behaves. If somebody tells you, "Arey, you got a 100% jump, what more do you want?" and so you would have sold at 60. I'm not getting into right wrong, right? So that is one thing. You behave like how the herd behaves. There is nothing which can prevent you from behaving very differently unless you've created tremendous discipline for yourself. So when you're in a herd, especially a herd of people who have never invested, you do not know how to invest. So what you do is to say, I do not know how to invest, so can I just turn to the so-called experts who come on the media and create videos like Subra and listen to what they are doing. The problem is not all of them know what exactly they are doing. So I can only tell you what I did and what suited me, and I've been investing for the last 40 years. What suits you and what you should do, you should either learn it yourself or find an advisor who will tell you what to do, right? That's the best. Turning to the media makes no sense because you have no clue how to use what the media is saying. And remember, media, I've said this earlier in other videos also, Media can only give you generic advice that equity will make money for you in the long run. But if you are 90 years of age, maybe you don't need equity at all. If you have adequate money in less volatile assets and that is taking care of your life, why do you need to do anything else, right? So that can continue. So don't get carried away by what the society is doing, what people around you are doing, because many of us have come from the shortage economy and now it's a surplus economy, so things have changed, right? Second, another problem is when the market is like, let's say you have bought a house for X amount of money. Let's say you bought a house for 1 crore of rupees. And you have been speaking to brokers, and those brokers are calling you up every morning and every evening saying the price of your house is 95 lakhs, or somebody calls you and says the price of your house is 1 crore 5 lakhs. Then somebody calls you. I mean, every day you get 2 calls. Let's say you get just 2 calls, but one in the morning, one in the evening. So one morning you get a call saying your house is appreciated, it has become 1.20. And so you feel very happy. You tell your family that well, this house which we bought for 1 is now 1.20. But beyond that, there is nothing else to do. You're not planning to sell that house because you've spent maybe another 20 lakhs on the interiors or 30 lakhs on the interiors. So if you have already done that, all that is your sunk cost, and you're not going to react. You're not going to sell the house. But why do you do that when it comes to equity? You have bought something for 100 rupees. Today it is worth 110 or it is worth 95. Just keep your nose and to the ground, and then just be लगे रहो उसी पे. आपको कुछ करना ही नहीं है. You don't have to do anything just because somebody is offering you a price day in and day out. Keeping the noise out is not very easy, and that is the reason why we also suffer the herd mentality. Put together all this, realize that you need to make rules. You need to say this is a trading call, so at 10% I'll sell, or at an happening of a market event I'll sell, or on time I will sell, because some shares don't move up at all. So what is the point in holding on in a trading position? Whereas if it's an investment, you say it doesn't move, that's the market's problem. I am going to hold on to Fortis Healthcare for a very long period of time, immaterial of what the Supreme Court says about the open offer. I think it's a good investment. Fine, hold on to that. Don't get swayed by what is happening in the price. It doesn't really matter. However, use the money market signals, or the what I mean is the price signals to a point that you say, I cannot hold it beyond this. I bought this as an investment at 100 rupees. However, it has fallen down to 75, and I see no reason why it has fallen. See, this is another important thing. When I say there's a 25% fall, you should sell. What I mean is, if there is a 25% fall in the market, your share will also fall. It may fall ahead of the market. That is not what I am saying. I am saying if the market has remained steady relative to the market, if your share has fallen 25%, say my rule is I will sell when it falls 25% vis-a-vis to the market fall. So if the market has fallen 22% and your share has fallen 25%, then it has just done what the market would have anyway done to every share, right? So then you don't need to react. So you will, I mean, if you had a rule that for 25% you will sell, then sometime in March when the market fell 30%, maybe you would have sold off your whole portfolio. No, it doesn't make sense. Relative fall is what you're looking for. If the market falls, you will fall. But however, it is not the market which has fallen, just your share which has fallen, then you need to react. So make all these rules. We understand that we are part of a social being. So we will do what the market does. So we will do what the crowd does. So because we are the crowd. So somebody tells you India is doing very well and US is doing very well, there's a good chance that we will go and buy IT companies. And then when everybody sells, we also want to sell, whether we make money in it or no. Don't do that. Create your own rules. That makes more sense than following the crowd, which itself is like, which itself does not know what to do. Thank you.